the Bears are in the playoff hunt this year. They've built
Absolutely.
a really, really good roster. And you feel like you say this every year about specific teams like the Bears. They win free agency, they win the offseason, you're excited, and then they post a 5-12 season. But I do think there's been an a big change in culture for the Chicago Bears. It's not just mini micro changes that we expected to be really good and they didn't really pan out. There's been a shift in the culture with the coaching, with the players, with the way the Chicago Bears are approach things, I think, over in Chicago. And I think the big thing for me is Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's really impressed me. Caleb Williams needed an offensive-minded head coach. He needed someone who could call plays. They drafted well. They got him two weapons in the draft, Loveland and Luther Burden. They have Rome Odunze. They have DJ Moore. The offensive line was patched up, which is huge. And the defense, which was already good, just got improved in free agency. So I'm looking at this season, and I think Caleb Williams is primed for a year 2 breakout. It has to be there. I mean, they've given him everything. The talent is obviously there. And there's this narrative now because that book came out. I don't know how much you read into it. I didn't even read into it too much. But essentially, Caleb Williams, his father, was trying to go to the UFL, which is also, by the way, complete horseshit. There was in no reality was Caleb Williams playing in the UFL. But
So his dad wanted him to go to the UFL?
well, they wanted to get around going to Chicago. Okay, they wanted to avoid Chicago, and yeah, okay, I understand. Like, there's been a lot of controversy lately with dads involved in their son's picture with LeBron and Dion and whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But how do you look at the Chicago Bears and you're not concerned about their quarterback situation? They're the only
Absolutely.
franchise in the NFL without a 4,000-yard passer in history.
Yeah.
They've been a franchise since 1920. The
Well,
Jags have done it. The Titans have done it. What are we
yes.
doing?
And like I feel like it was almost every time I would watch the Bears play this year, it was almost as if Caleb Williams was like breaking a record every
I
single
know.
week. I was like, I just think like the standard of quarterback play in Chicago has been so low for so long that maybe I don't agree with the approach, but I can definitely understand why, as a parent, you would not want to send your child who plays quarterback to the land of what seems to be where quarterbacks die. But the thing with me is I think if this is another quarterback, virtually almost any other quarterback in the NFL, this does not. I'll come back up. It's the offseason. That happened a year ago. Let it die. But because it's Caleb Williams, because he is so,
Hated.
I don't even want to say he's outspoken because he's relatively quiet. It's just when he's on the field, he just has a little bit of a swagger. He paints his nails. He does a lot of things that the traditional football fan just does not like. He cries after losses. He hugs his mom. But at the end of the day, all of that aside, he plays football at an extremely high level. And exactly like you said, he has everything set up for him to succeed. I wouldn't be surprised, and this might be too early prediction, but I would not be surprised if you see Chicago in the conference championship. I don't know if they
Really?
make it to the Super Bowl, but just looking at who they have at quarterback, the plethora of weapons that they have on the offensive side of the ball, Loveland, Burden, Odunze, Moore. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of them, but you have Swift as well. Like the offensive line is good. The defense was good last year and got better. So realistically, if we just removed the name from this team, like they were no longer the Chicago Bears, on paper, this team is supposed to be really good.
Definitely.
And I think that there are going to be some setbacks for teams like the Lions, like the Vikings. I don't necessarily believe they're going to be as good as they were this year. And I think with those teams taking a step back, I think that's the perfect opportunity for the Bears to take a step forward. I love Caleb Williams. I think that he is a multiple time future All Pro, a Pro Bowler. I think he's going to do great things. The only thing that I am hesitant about, or not hesitant, I guess I would say cautious, would be if he doesn't succeed this year, how the media and fans will tear him apart. But
Right.
what I want people to remember is that this is still just a quarterback going into his second year. I
Mhm.
think football fans, especially, have become used to things just happening right away. Unfortunately, not everyone is a Patrick Mahomes, a Lamar Jackson, where like right out the gate you are winning MVPs or like you're going to Super Bowl. Sometimes it takes a little a time, but I think like with all that said, I still think that Chicago will have a good year this year. I think they will surprise a lot of people.
Me too. Me too. And that's a really good point. I think Mahomes has set a really unrealistic expectations for rookies that come into the league, and we expect rookies to just tear the roof off in their first year. And Caleb Williams actually had a solid first year as a quarterback in the league, but
Yes,
because we have these unrealistic expectations, it flies under the radar. And Jaden Daniels, who made a conference championship, obviously that's not great that he's your comparison, right? You're looking at that. Oh, wow, he had a great year. Caleb Williams, not so much. Well, that's not necessarily the case.
the
Jaden
stats are very
Daniels
similar.
had a really good supporting cast. His team was just primed for the moment. And when they went to Detroit and they dominated, it's like, wow, look, Caleb Williams had a really good year too. Who was his coach? Pat
Yes,
Eberflus was absolutely brutal. So that's why I'm so
and
big on
DJ
Ben
Moore never
Johnson.
wanted to play football last year,
Exactly. Like there were so many aspects to that
out
Bears
of his
team
control as
that
well.
were just out of his control and worked against him, right? That's
Yeah,
why I'm so big on Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is the real deal. He's put a premium on the development of Caleb Williams, which is most important to me. He wants his young quarterback to succeed. He's backing him like crazy. He's come with excitement, with enthusiasm. The offense looks good. They've got new weapons. They've got an offensive line. The defense has been good. There's nothing not to like about the Bears. Now it's just time to go show out. So I expect a
absolutely.
big season from him.